Welcome to the New World Compendium, your source of information here in Aeternum. Come, take a seat, grab a drink, and let us tell you all the news, rumors, and stories from this fantastic island. I'm your host, Arkaniir Silvershield, and I'm joined by two of my amazing co-hosts, Storms and Sivian. How's it going, you guys?
Going fantastic. How about you?
Doing great.
It's going good. It's good to be back after a week, now that we got to play the game more, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Because it's been a very eventful week with the closed beta. Some good stuff and some very controversial stuff. It's quite interesting. We have some numbers to talk about, very positive stuff. Quite a blast, apparently, for everyone this beta has been. We got a couple letters from the studio and game directors regarding the issues they have faced and regarding how the closed beta is going. And we have the most controversial topic of the past week, GPUs bricking, especially 3090s, while playing New World. So we are going to discuss all these, and then if we have time, we are going to get into our experience and what we've been doing in Aeternum ourselves. So let's get to it. Normally, if you are on iTunes, and if you leave us a review on iTunes, this would be where we read it live on the show, and it would be appreciated, because since this is a new show, we need those reviews to let people know that we are a real podcast and not a fake one, and we say words. So there you go.
And sometimes they matter.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, occasionally they matter, right? It's
Right.
maybe not all the time, but... So the first bit of news is that it's a very positive one. 3 days ago, New World on Steam broke 200,000 people playing at the same time. 200,000 concurrent players, which is a huge number on Steam. It's not a small number at all for a closed beta MMORPG that is being played on Steam. And
I was just
even
gonna
now,
say, and it's a closed beta.
and even now I'm looking at it, and we are at 99,786 people right now playing New World.
So is it really a closed beta?
Right.
In order to get it, you got to pre-order it. So it's fairly open, but that's okay.
Yeah, that means there is a huge number of people who pre-ordered it as well, which is still a good number. I mean, with this many
let's
pre-orders,
not kid ourselves. How many people pre-ordered it and are waiting to play it? Right. I personally know of quite a few that haven't even gotten into the beta, except to just get to that starter town and learn some of the game mechanics, and that was it. They didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people who haven't pre-ordered it, even though they plan on playing the game. Yeah. They just didn't pre-order out of principle, like just because. So very good numbers. And for comparison, I pulled up Elder Scrolls Online and Final Fantasy. Now this is not going to be a proper comparison, because both ESO and Final Fantasy are not only on Steam, they are on consoles, and like they have their own launchers and stuff. But still, just for numbers...
New World's not just on Steam either. They have their own... Amazon has their own launcher.
Yep.
Oh, for closed beta, they send you a Steam key. If you buy it from Amazon right now, they send you a Steam key for the closed beta.
That is correct.
So okay, so I thought they were running the closed beta on the... Okay.
No, so for closed beta numbers, it's only on Steam. Yeah. So ESO's all-time peak was 49,000 on Steam, and currently have 17,620 players just on Steam, which is a good number because this is just Steam, so they have their own launcher, and then you have PlayStation and Xbox, so still pretty good. And Final Fantasy's all-time peak was just on Steam 67,000. So New World to pull on closed beta 200,000 concurrent players, great number.
Oh,
now,
fantastic.
Yeah. And now, since this was only, like, the other games are not on all platforms, I also decided, okay, let's take a look at the Twitch numbers as well, right? See how they have been. New World, on July 20, on the launch day, 730,000 people was watching New World on Twitch.
Nuts.
Mm-hmm.
With the 7-day average being 120,000. For comparison, ESO had 159,000 peak back in 2019 and an average of 3,000 at the moment, but the game is 7 years old, it's expected. And Final Fantasy, just on July 3, the past July 3, had a 220,000 peak viewers on Twitch. I believe that's when Asmongold and a couple big timers jumped into Final Fantasy just before New World. But yeah, so again, not a full proper comparison since the other games are on multiple platforms and everything, but still a great start. A very impressive, fantastic start.
Here's my question to you two.
Yeah.
August 31st. What's your numbers? What do you say he's going to be on Steam?
I kind of expect not on August 31st.
No.
But sometime then, I feel like 304,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
On launch day, it's not gonna be, because I expect on launch day things to break, even with this closed beta. Things are gonna, like, launch. I can't remember a massive MMO game like this to have a day one smooth launch with servers not breaking and everything collapsing for a day or two. So
that's another reason you have a closed beta.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're looking at 200,000 concurrent users. That's a pretty good test. That's a pretty good. We're going to set your servers on fire test there.
So it's with these numbers and the testing, it definitely makes sense that the servers struggled in the past week, and a lot of people did expect it to happen, but obviously your average consumer don't really like, they want a smooth experience whether it's a beta or not, and people got upset that servers were going down
like TV.
Right.
They were upset that servers were going down. They were doing rolling maintenances, taking the servers down, back up, and a lot of patching, a lot of fixing. Right now, it's been smooth sailing for the last couple days. But every now and then, they still take the servers down for maintenance. And this is, as Sivian just said, exactly why we have closed beta, so that we can hammer the servers down and figure out all the issues so that we can have a smoother launch at August 31st. And I think we are getting there for sure.
Even playing on a hotel internet last weekend, it was doing phenomenal. Once it downloaded the 350 meg or gig, right? But if you're playing the game, a little bit of lag, but not much. And hotel internet is not that good. So
at Storms, we can touch on that in a bit, but it wasn't your internet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've got gig internet, and I was hitting lag spikes.
Okay. Yeah. And that probably wasn't that, but still, it was fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's once we passed through that first few days, they started to get a bit more stable. But
and I think that's when it those first few days, right? That's when it really shed light on on quite a number of the issues, right? And most of us that have been in the tech industry fully expect that. Right? You're going to expect servers come down, do a quick patch, test it, do another patch. You have to.
Fast server switches. They were. I don't even know if they were taking them down as much as shut one down, have another one already loaded with the new version, and boot it up. They were real fast.
Yeah.
So, I was
Amazon,
impressed.
that's what I'd expect, right? Because you could load the second server, get ready to go, turn off the first server, and in 10 minutes you're back up.
Well, they have four continents worth of servers.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's insane.
It is, right? So, and it's their servers. I mean, sure, they're getting a budget for it, right? But they're going to charge for things. But if they need more servers to make it work right, they're going to get more servers.
Yeah.
Just turn them on.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Come on, their boss is in space. What does it matter?
Right.
Just laying down satellites like mines on a sea.
You know, come on. We just got to get them to pay for that. You know, Facebook a while back was trying to do gliding internet, right, for the rural communities. We got to get somebody to get the rural communities served out. Then we're good.
Yeah, and even they added a whole bunch as soon as the initial load hit and people were like, we need more servers. Several new servers popped up on all regions. They were like,
it's just an image. It's just boom. You don't have to move any hardware. You don't have to plug anything in.
Yeah.
You take the image, you put it in, it's going, right?
Yeah.
It works the same way when I was doing games for Lumberyard. Again, I didn't get like 2 servers, but setting them up took minutes. So really? What you're doing, it's done.
Beauty of AVS. And basically having your own entire server structure within the company.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The vendor, I won't say what vendor, the vendor I'm working with now, their entire business is AWS. Right? And that's it. It's just phenomenal how fast they can put a server up.
Yeah. I mean, even at my previous job, I was working on a mobile game that had like 1.5, 1.6 million daily active users. And we had our own, like, rented databases on Europe, US, whatever, all the places. But that was before AWS became this commonplace. So we, like, the backend team spent day and night moving everything to AWS, and it improved everything so much. I mean, obviously moving process was a nightmare for them. They were pulling 24-hour shifts between them basically, so that there were always someone on, like, ready in the team.
Full normal IT hours.
Yeah. But once the switch was done, the latencies, the stability, everything went up by a lot compared to like the normal server data center solutions. So yeah, in server wise, I'm hopeful of Nivol's future because of their AWS background. Now we have a letter from, or a message from, the studio director Rich Lawrence regarding the server downtimes and everything like that to the community. So I'm gonna read that real quick. Hey everybody, I think the events of today deserve some explanation. This was when everything caught on fire, basically. There were several hours long downtimes. They brought down everything and started rolling them back up slowly. This was the day the servers, this could be the day when, actually wait, what's the date on this? Can I see on their forums? I can't really, for that, yeah, this was just before the concurrent peak happened, I believe. We had some bugs that only happen under very specific load conditions in beta. For those coders in our audience, you have probably encountered that only happens sometimes memory overwrite issues, yes. And we are experiencing at least some of those, which are very difficult to diagnose. From us, this is not a hey, don't blame us thing. This 100% happens. Diagnosing memory issues are an absolute nightmare, folks. So do give them some slack. It definitely happens.
A lot of slack and a lot of beer.
Beer, coffee, or beer, it depends. It depends where in their diagnostics point they are, where in debugging they are. Or just mainlining coffee from one side, beer from the other side. It's
there you go. Just keep it going.
Last night we added
emptied out a vending machine of Coke. I was just up all night trying to get code working.
It happens. It happens.
Oh yeah.
This was 4 days ago, by the way. Last night we added a patch that was meant to help isolate those problems. We did QA it beforehand, of course, and felt it was a very safe step to take. But obviously we were wrong. It made stability worse. Naturally, we suspected our most recent changes were the cause, but we needed to be sure before any further change. It took us too long to understand exactly what was happening. Then we ran into unexpected issues getting servers updated afterwards. Aspects of the process that were previously highly dependable had errors. I know there's generally a lower expectation for beta stability, and I appreciate our players extend that consideration to us. I wanted to assure people we aren't taking that as license to be casual about disruption. We are on these issues as quickly as possible and have some further patches in progress that we will test carefully and in more limited use before we patch across the service. That help both with bugs and overall performance. That will allow us to examine changes without such broad impact. We do learn from all of this, and it helps improve the long-term stability of the game, our patching, and our process for publishing. Thanks to everyone in beta for participating in making the game better as we resolve the problems, and don't forget to supply your feedback, either through survey or directly to us via social or forums. Your input is vital for where we take the game going forward. Rich Lawrence, studio director. Yeah, honestly, this entire message makes sense. This is just the regular process of development and launching something.
Yep.
It's just, it happened. Again, if you have a multiplayer system, multiplayer architecture, you will have problems. It's just going to happen. This is all sort of weird magic that you pray to the server gods, and if they smile upon you, you survive. If not, it's just going to break.
You still survive. It just takes longer.
Yeah, true.
So I think coming from a non-IT background myself, right, that sheds light on things. It's nice for them to kind of break things down. So those that come from an IT background and are in development and coding and that kind of stuff, you see servers get shut down because you see things that happen during a game and you're like, yep, I get it. I see why they took it down. They had to do a quick patch, right? Where you can read through the patch notes real quick. It's nice for them to break that down for us non-coders. It's nice for them to admit that they put something in hoping that it was going to fix it. Unfortunately, it didn't, right? So it was kind of neat that they swallowed their own pride and it is what it is. Move forward.
Exactly. And like that was 4 days ago. Since then, things have improved a lot. I had the game running in the background or while playing for several hours and didn't disconnect once in the last couple days, for example. It's been...
I did notice when the game first came out, there was, I think, a 30-minute timeout, right? So if you're idle sitting there, it logs you out. It doesn't do that right now.
I don't know the exact time, but I do occasionally get timed out for idle because I do forget the game in the background and like go start cooking and everything. And sometimes I do still get kicked out, but I don't know how long it is.
It may have been patched from the last patch, but I literally forgot and left it up while, I was on my lunch break, right? I'm addicted. Just getting a little bit in, trying to level. And I just forgot it. And was working, getting stuff done, got a drink, came back up and walked into my office. I was like, man, it's really hot in here. It's like, oh, is the game still running? Right. So I changed my tabs around and I'm still in the game. And it had been like 2 hours.
I wonder if it adjusts the duration, like AFK duration dynamically. If there are people in the queue or if there is high load, it boots you faster if you're AFK. If the server is rather empty, it just lets you be
in it.
Yeah,
that would be interesting to find out.
Yeah, neat testing. I'm gonna try during peak hours, and then I'm gonna try in the middle of the night and see how long before I get kicked each time. And just do like a small experiment on my own. Yeah,
not that it really matters.
But, think about it, right? It really does. And when Atlas first came out, right, and they had the bodies stay there, the memory kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. They had to get rid of the bodies. Now you notice in New World, they get rid of them, but after a while.
Yeah.
They're there for, 10 minutes, then they disappear.
What did they change it to an arc? Kind of the same type of philosophy?
You disappear right away, right?
Oh, okay.
Conan's the same way. When you log off Conan, you automatically gone, you disappear. Because what you're going to do is you're freeing up the memory in the background.
Yeah.
But if you've got a memory issue and you're leaving all these people lying around, it's just going to multiply more and more and more. And more.
It's going to fester. Yeah. Now, I wonder if that's because if you log off, right, and there's a queue, if you log back in within that 10-minute window, are you going to bypass the queue?
That depends, right?
Actually, no, because there has been times...
Go ahead.
There has been times where I get disconnected and immediately jump back in and I was already in the queue, so...
Yeah, I've seen that, but I've also seen when I got off, I'm going to go back on, 30-minute wait. So then again, that was the first weekend, I think.
Right, yeah.
What's going to be tough is between August 2nd and August 31st, right? Letting this go for a little bit.
Not playing.
Yeah, right.
Now
Because
what
they're
do I
shutting
do?
it off, right?
Yeah.
I think they're shutting it off on August 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The close
Yeah.
beta
I don't
ends on
know the
August
exact
2nd.
time, but
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things I wanted to do was get to the corruptions, right? It's already August 28th. And just due to work and everything, I think, level just about hit 20. And I
There you
wanted to
go.
get into the Armene excavation, which is an expedition, right?
Hmm.
But you got to have 4 people, at least 3 people.
Yeah.
And so people are standing around the entrance. I don't know if you've been there yet. They know you have to be at least 23. They'll look at your level. If you're less than 22, they won't even group you up.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
So
because
that's why the other day I sent out a message. Hey, is anybody around? Can we group?
I'll take you through it.
There you
I'm
go.
20. I'm almost 29. I think.
There you go. Let's go to our meeting. That'd be great.
I did
There's
my
about
first
5 or 6 of us in
expedition.
the company that we'll do it. We'll throw it through.
We'll go.
Yeah, I did my first expedition with people all under level 25. Someone was like level 19, someone was 21.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a different psychology between there and my server, I guess. I've run so many times with lower level people. It's like people don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to get like in there, or they don't pay attention. That could be it as well. They are just like,
Well,
more
that's also why I
distracted.
said yesterday I'll level up a life staff real quick and I'll be the healer, right? Because everybody wants to be DPS. So if I get a healer or a tank. So I figured, well, I'll take bought a 3rd level life staff, right? Had never used one in this iteration. Went to Wolffang Hollow and just started pegging the wolves with the life staff. It took me about 45 minutes, but I got to level 8, just killing wolves in a big circle.
So there was a couple things that came out that I've been paying attention to. The meta, right, was the town boards. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but they messed up when the game first came out, that the town boards were refreshing. Was it every 2 minutes?
It was pretty quick.
It was every 2 minutes the town boards were refreshing.
Yeah.
And I think they missed a 0 because it was supposed to be every 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was just crushing. And that honestly is, even right now, town boards is the best way to level.
Yeah.
That's what I've been focusing on, faction and town boards.
Yep. Yeah.
They give.
So I've been able to jump up quite a bit on town boards. But yeah, I loved it. I mean, expedition. I mean, it was so much fun. It took us, I think, 20 minutes to get through.
I'm looking forward to that, but I'm really enjoying their crafting too. I'm really enjoying. I know we were talking to somebody the other day when they joined their level 60 or whatever. That's all they did, right? But
yeah,
I really started getting into crafting like hatchets and stuff. And then
what materials do you need? Because I'm level 130 in lumber.
Okay.
That's phenomenal.
So I can get some pretty good wood.
Well, that's there you go. And TMI. And then I'm working on my mining as well, because I'm going to get to the higher level metals. That's fun.
Nice.
Too, so
nice.
It's a balance. Do I want to find a town board that lets me work on my crafting, or do I want to go kill some stuff? And sometimes it's both.
Honestly, what I've been doing is I just, every time I'm in the town, I pick up pretty much every project available on the town board, and it completes while I'm doing other stuff anyway. So I just, when I return to the town, I check the town board. I'm like, 5 of these are complete. And sometimes there are things that I can just buy off the store as well. It says like, get 20 rawhide. I'm like, just grab 20 from the trade post for cheap, immediately complete that, get my experience, get the new ones.
Except the freaking garlic potato, whatever it is.
Cooking ones, I haven't been able to do one cooking one.
Okay, so
you haven't seen a cooking one?
No, haven't been able to do them because I just don't either have the recipe or something.
But we got a problem when you have certain ones like when you're pulling up the not the hemp, but the usually comes up with hyssop, right? The herbs, right? So the herbs come up with hyssop usually. Their table's messed up. So you get hyssop every single time. And different zones give you different results from the herbs. Sometimes it's mint, sometimes it's garlic. Garlic you only get outside of Everswords, I believe is the one. That's why garlic is running like $500 a clove because
looks
nobody's
like I'm
got
heading
it
over
right?
there.
I know.
I don't think I've seen garlic in the game yet, like myself.
I haven't.
I actually bought 3 of them. It cost me like $1,000, but I got it right. I figured, what the heck, let's try that. So I'm looking for those. So there's all those things in that market to keep an eye on to go, what's going to make us a lot of money?
Yeah.
There's certain things that really will. Cartridges aren't, making that money. That's fun, but they don't make that much. Gunpowder sells really well, right?
And some quest items.
I was just gonna say, what have you guys found that's selling, right? And also, when I first started selling things, I was posting it all for 14 days, right? Rookie mistake.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You post something, the greenwood, right? I was selling a ton of greenwood, because all I was doing was chopping trees down. And somebody undercuts you, they're not gonna buy yours anymore. So I need to change my thinking out and just go to like a 3-day or a 7-day post.
Real short.
Honestly, after close beta until August 31st, that's what I'm going to be strategizing on, basically. Just get as much information about the market from guides, websites, like newworldfans.com, who our friends at Studio Loot makes created. Get as much information as I can and delegate certain crafting among friends. We already started, like some of my friends are starting the game as well. We are already in the path to, we are all going to level all of our craft things. But I will, for example, get my cooking maxed out as fast as I can, and my friend will get his alchemy maxed out as fast as I can. Yeah, because
absolutely,
there is some real powerful stuff with the crafting. It's the food you can eat, but like the fortified
specialized. That's why I need a guild.
Yeah.
Well, and there's so many different specialties that everybody just needs to focus on one.
Yep, absolutely.
It's like, I'll do lumber. For some reason, I enjoy it. It's satisfying to chop trees down. I've been enjoying
cooking a lot. I'm gonna be a cooker, basically. I'm gonna be a cook.
There's so many people that hate the lumberjack side of things.
No, the mining is pretty good, but I think the mining, they have to work on the number of spawns and where they're putting them. A lot of the silver spawns are in caves,
correct,
which you then have to worry about something coming at you when it respawns in the middle of it. Excuse me. So there's different things you have to think about. Now, if there was iron is almost always outside. So is
the wolf dens, there's iron. A lot of the bear dens or bear caves, that's where you'll find silver.
Cliff sides as well generally have a lot of iron.
There's I forget what town I was in. I had a town board for killing 25 or 30 wolves. And I just posted up, and this is just today. I'm level 28, so I just posted up with a bow and arrow on top of a rock, just picking them off.
That's it.
There was some like level 8 that was just running around skinning everything. Have at it, man. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't
need to do it.
I like kill quests that target animals that also attack me, but as my both weapons are melee, when I get those like hunt elk missions, for example, oh my god, they're running, they're zooming all over the place. It's rough.
Have either of you gotten into any PvP, right? So any attacking forts or town battles?
War PvP, no, but I've been getting into sort of like in front of Windsworth and Everfall. Just like 10-15 Covenant comes and blocks it. And so in faction chat, we are like, Marauders gather up. So we gather up, we roll out the town and have sort of like this 10 versus 10, but not structured PvP. It's fun, but...
So we, on our server, we have really come together as a faction, right? So you'll start seeing, hey, we're taking Windsward, right? Everybody get the Windsward, start doing PvP quests. Ark, I'm telling you, we had one where there was 30 to 50 people all traveling in one pack to go do PvP quests. And we were doing it against the Marauders because we're Syndicate.
Oh,
and there was 30 Marauders already doing the PvP quests coming back to turn them in.
Oh.
And it was 30v50, and it was just insane.
How did the game perform?
So much fun.
How was the performance?
not terrible. There was some lag spikes. Definitely noticed lag spikes in yesterday. We did a town battle for Cutlass Key. We were on defense. We won, of course. Right.
Wow.
Syndicate.
Okay.
But yeah, there were some big lag spikes in I mean, literally, I was on a repeater and everything just stopped.
Oh.
And we were all in somebody's Discord, right? Because we're trying to organize the battle.
Mhm.
And legit, it just stopped. And everybody's like, what's going on? So there's definitely some lag issues that they need to work out. But I mean, I don't think it's anything they can't handle, right?
I hope so. I mean, the thing is, 50 versus 50 with action combat means you constantly have to check everyone's position, the collisions, the colliders. New World is a lot heavy. Like, it's a lot more resource hungry when you are doing all these calculations without having a targeting system. At least that's what I imagine.
You figure you've got AoEs, repeaters, cannons, hand-to-hand melee attacks, ranged attacks, plus everybody's moving. Yeah, that's pretty taxing.
Yeah.
This is a PvP range similar to when you're ranging against an NPC like a wolf. At certain points, an NPC, you'll hit it, you'll get their attention, but then they'll turn back around and reheal. Right. So I'm not with PvP. I wasn't sure I hadn't done that yet.
So, I mean, yes and no. You have your healers, right? So your healers are just literally just AoE spamming heals, right? And everybody's trying to stay real tight in that circle. And it's funny because in the fort battles, those are open world. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
No. Okay, cool.
So the fort battles, they're open world. You can just run up and take over a fort. If nobody's in there, storms, you can just run in and take over the fort, right? Once you own that fort, it gives you, what is it, Ark, 20% buff
20%
on
influence.
faction quests.
Yeah, like extra influence, some XP gain or territory standing gain.
So if you're trying to take over as a faction a territory, right, it's crucial that you have that fort, right? Because that's going to give you a boost to gain influence and being able to declare war.
Interesting.
But it's limited to, and I think the numbers are 20v20. So if you are, say you've got 50 people coming running in, right? 30 of them are all going to get teleported out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you have a big mass coming together just to protect the fort, and this is real world in game, right? This isn't instanced. Open world, you get TP'd, right? Teleported, and you go right back. It's pretty frustrating. I really hope they fix that, but I also understand that you're trying to balance things, right? It wouldn't be worth it to have a huge Zerg come through and then you can't even fight them.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see how the community reacts to it once things get rolling in their official launch. But interesting, I didn't know that, and I didn't expect that to happen. At some point,
forts have a faction
sense,
cap lock, if you will. Once you hit that cap lock, everybody gets teleported out.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess otherwise,
too much I'm just focusing on leveling. So good idea.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, you could just cover every inch of that fort with a marauder, for example, and there wouldn't even any place to be just get inside because everyone has physical colliders that you can't merge with people. I don't know.
You get physical colliders if you're on PvP. If you're in PvE, you do not.
Yeah, but if you're in the castle, you'll be in PvP because you can't enter the castle without your PvP.
Right. So what I'm saying, if you're attacking a fort or you're attacking a settlement, right? If you want to get 300 people, into stand out there, and you put them in PvE, they can't block anybody. Right? You can have them block the way coming in, but they have to be in PvP to block.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. Because that was a technique that I was thinking about. We could just stand up in a row, right? If you can block them without being hurt, well, then you're good to go. But
there's
I
like
guess they
7-8
thought of that
tanks. Yeah.
one. Right.
Yeah.
So,
But even in the fort battles, you don't have to tear down the gates,
okay.
which is different, right? So it's odd. I'm trying to think of a way to explain this, right? So you run up to the gate, you hold E, and you instance in to the fort, right? It's almost like you open the doors, you walk in. So that's just a regular fort battle, and that I believe was 20v20.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I've done quite a bit of fort battles. I mean, I'm loving them.
I never
I'm
really
really
find
looking
anyone
forward to hitting
fighting
this.
at the forts.
Ark, you gotta find one and do it. It is fun. And if
I
you
mean,
have
there
a
are
town
wars.
battle,
Like there are
if you have a town
territory wars, but
if you have a territory war, right?
Those are
Bro,
50
I'm
versus
telling you,
50, but I
it's
never
so
get
much
selected.
fun.
Because in our server, at least, there are already like 50 people companies, and they're just rolling together. So I haven't been selected to any of the wars. And as for the open world fort wars, it's like I go there and it's generally just no one there, or it's already ours. No one really comes. So,
and that's
but
one
I
of
guess
those, like,
that'll
I just
change
usually pay
once.
attention. Like, hey, you just type in our faction chat, like, hey, where's the PvP? Everybody's like, oh, it's over at Windsward, or it's over at Cutlass Key.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess it'll change once the game actually launches as well, because right now people are probably just figuring things out and leveling. Once everybody gets to a certain level, they'll be seeking out PvP more, I suppose. So there will be a lot more crowd PvP going on.
In the village, the territory battle, at the end of it, I think I got 9,500 experience points.
Nice.
Wow.
So I was kind of surprised. I mean, I guess I wasn't expecting it. It was my first one. And I was like, holy man, I got some good experience.
Yeah.
Holy,
so I'll take it. Hey,
you get about
right.
you get about 4,500 from the expedition quest from Barquimedes, for reference.
Yeah.
And they roughly take about the same time. So 30 minutes for the war, 30 minutes for the expedition.
Which expedition?
Armine Expedition, the level 25 one.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dog at the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely every time you go in, take that quest and just repeat Armine Expedition if you want. And it gives massive XP. It's that
cool.
dog.
That's what I'm looking forward to do next. So that's good.
Yeah.
I did hear of a couple people in that territory battle that were getting 15 to 20,000 experience.
Wow. Okay.
I think those were the front. I was only 28, and we had a couple 50s. They were the front line guys.
Right.
Yeah. So I knew my role. I just sat on a repeater.
If we've been, say it was fast forward a year, and we've all been playing for a year, we had this similar discussion last week. If you've got people at level 50, 100, 150 that are just wiping the people off the map, how do you keep the lower players interested to be able to survive?
Adding more low-level content to the game that they can do without getting involved with the high levels.
But that's where you get into the XP boosts.
True.
Yeah. Then you're gonna, how do I, if we're gonna be able to do that and I can't catch up to you, why would I do that? Right. So
I mean, if there is a cap, you will eventually catch up. Then again, I'm in favor of experience potions or scrolls because whatever. I mean, if there's something to reduce the time you're gonna get to the top, I'll take it. I'm impatient and I'm lazy. I don't like grinding.
So am I, right? I got other stuff going on, right? If I need to get my flash as fast as it can be, I'm going to pay for it. Because I want to play it to have fun, not to grind, right?
Yeah.
Now, New World, I'm enjoying even grinding. Well, not all of it, but I'm enjoying it, right? DC Online, I can only punch somebody so many times, right? So we need to, come on, we need to pay for this. I'm going to jump up a little bit. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to just seeing how this rolls out. I wasn't able to join ESO when it first came out, right? Well, no, that's not true. I did. I made the mistake of joining Ebonheart, right? But I chose Morrowind, not Morrowind, but wherever the place was to come out. I just came out of Skyrim and I see a bunch of mushrooms. Right, I'm like, what is this? And I just put it away, right, for a year before I came back. But it's I'm so looking forward to starting at the beginning and see what ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here.
And Darkwater in chat also suggests PvP scaling.
Yeah.
Could be done, but PvP scaling is a tricky topic. It's very tricky to get it right. I don't know. I mean, ESO does it, and I guess it could work. Like, the difference would be, again, in gear and your weapons and your weapon skills. But
I've seen quite a people in chat in game say that there is PvP scaling.
Oh, there is? Interesting. Yeah. Maybe that's why I was able to fight like people above my level. I don't know how. I wonder how they are scaling it then. Like what are they scaling? My damage absorption, their damage.
I know I was getting owned in that territory battle. I was getting one-shotted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You got to figure out why that is, right? One of the really interesting for me, I thought about this news ESO one was when you damage used to be everything, but now penetration is huge, right?
Yeah.
It just turned on its head. So I'm looking forward to looking and understanding with New World here what is going to help to get through and damage the person. So that, to me, that's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to get to the right level so I can start doing that.
Yeah, and there is damage absorption in, like, in some passives. It says like ignores the 10% of the opponent's armor and everything like that. But for example, how important that is if your opponent is in light armor.
I don't know.
Do you
look at Berserk with the hatchet? Once you hit Berserk, the second or third one you can buy with it you're uninterruptible.
Yeah,
which is phenomenal, right?
Yeah, that's
because they interrupt you all the time. So I'm always hitting, even if I'm not going to use the hatchet, I'll hit it and become uninterruptible and switch.
Yeah.
I got a couple ones that'll do stun and make you dizzy. And I'm a Warhammer kind of guy.
One of the
things that I'm reading,
I've never used it.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm reading, it's talking about the PvP scaling is based on gear score.
Interesting.
Right? So if you're a level 60 wearing level 30 gear, if you're a level 40 wearing level 40 gear, you're probably going to beat that 60.
Interesting.
Okay.
So this is, none of this is confirmed. So I'm taking a note here. I want to look into this and try and figure out how this PvP scaling is.
Confirmed depends on the test, so that's okay.
Right.
I can confirm whatever you want.
Right.
So let's see. Okay, we still have some time, and I want to get into the GPU issue before we wrap up as well, and tell people what happened really. So a couple days into the closed beta of New World, people started reporting that their GPUs were dying completely. Now, the issues seem to have been focusing on 3090s and EVGA for the win tree, EVGA 3090 for the win trees mostly. Now, I've seen people reporting other cards also experiencing issues or bricking, but I've never saw a confirmation of that. All the news articles or the YouTube videos that I've seen, they always had EVGA 3090 for the win trees. They did also say their audiences were reporting other GPUs having problems, but again, I don't know them and I can't confirm that myself. Now, obviously, this became huge news. People were throwing news like, this game will brick your GPU. Amazon's new game is destroying people's PCs and everything like that. So it got the attention of a lot of people, and they started testing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, initially, what the problem seemed like, the New World comes without the frame rate capped. So the game can render as much as it can, or rather your GPU can render as much as it can with the power available to it. And even in the menus, you render thousands of frames in static menus because it just can. It draws the power. So people were putting that as the culprit mainly. The thing is, though, the GPUs normally, if they start getting overheated or if they start getting under too much load that it can't handle, it caps out, it throttles itself. Either shuts down, throttles, stops going beast mode. But for some reason, with New World, specifically EVGA 3090 FW3s, they were dying. And Amazon responded to this by saying, let me bring this up. Before we dive into the more tests and everything. So Amazon's response was, hundreds of thousands of people played in the New World closed beta yesterday, with millions of total hours played. We have received a few reports of players using high-performance graphics cards experiencing hardware failure when playing New World. New World makes standard DirectX calls as provided by the Windows API. We have seen no indication of widespread issues with 3090s, either in the beta or during our many months of alpha testing. The New World closed beta is safe to play. In order to further reassure players, we will implement a patch today that caps frames per second on our menu screen. We are grateful for the support New World is receiving from players around the world, and will keep listening to their feedback through beta and beyond. This doesn't really explain anything, or...
It just means that New World said they're going to put a cap on their menu.
Yeah, it just says that they are not responsible, which makes sense.
Using Windows X, right, to get to it, you're not able to do what they're saying happened unless the card will allow it to happen.
That seems to be the thing with EVGA FW3s, because see, I think it's JZ2Cents on YouTube who basically put his own 3090s through the blender by playing New World, and in the video he maximizes everything and puts his EVGA on the test bench and starts running the game, running around and monitoring everything. Now, what EVGA FW3 does specifically is, even with 100 or 105% power limiter on the card from the software, it goes up to 120s, 125s in power draw. So it goes over 20-25% over the power limit, while being utilized around 60% by itself. And the backplate seems to heat up a lot.
Yeah, there's an issue with the cards that was discovered because of the high usage.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, and JC he did use another 3090, who's a different manufacturer.
Yeah, MSI
and it
3 something. Yeah, it's the MSI
and it
card.
did not produce the same results, right? Yeah. It stayed at the 100, 105, right? Power utilization and at 100% card utilization, right? So it displayed a normal, quote normal, maxed out card. So with all this, and I believe J2Cents, he reached out to EVGA for responses, hey, what kind of happened? Do you guys feel what might be the issue? And they responded back and said, look, we've already sent RMAs out. Yeah. So it sounds like they kind of accepted that it was a card manufacturer issue and just said, look, we're already on it. We feel bad that some people have paid scalper prices right for 3090s, and we've already issued RMAs out, which good on EVGA. I mean, that's pretty stand up of them.
Yeah, as soon as you say you're going through DirectX, well, you just put yourself in a cupboard. So it's not the code, it's the card, right? I mean, so if they had said we're using our own specialty way of doing this, then you got wait a minute, what actually are you calling? What are you doing? But if you're going through DirectX, you're like, okay, we're good. It's not the card. We got the card.
It's strange though, like that power fluctuation.
They probably should have put a cap on their menu.
Should have.
Oh yeah, that's unnecessary.
It's one of those things that, and everybody was saying the 3090s were just having runaway FPS.
Yeah,
right. It was just going ham.
And even like when you are launching the game, it just for a second it goes beast mode for a second in a static loading screen, and then sort of stabilizes. Yeah, it's.
I haven't had that issue.
They may have patched it. Well, I don't know if they added that in the patch too, but yeah, cap your menus. I like this in every game, not just New World either. Don't make my card work while I'm just looking at the options.
In a menu.
Yeah,
in
a menu.
5 frames is enough for my menu.
Build menus don't focus on, let's make sure it doesn't blow anything up. They want how good it looks, right? Because we're not moving. How can we blow anything up? It's when you're moving, you go, I better be careful. I got to watch all this. I had pulled some menus down from Unity to use on what I was doing, and it was like they would just insanely go up in CPU usage. I'm like, it's a menu. What are you doing? Well, they're using 50 bajillion colors. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's a menu, right?
Well, I have to admit, so I'm running a EVGA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti, and I have had 0 issues with the game. It runs beautifully. And I have settings on max, and honestly, it works just fine. I personally put my cap at 60 FPS. But I think it's just because it's like an oven. I mean, this thing pumps out heat. This game will get your room nice and warm. Let's put it like that.
I don't even remember what I have on mine. My MSI, I think it's got a 2070. The one down here in the basement. I don't know what it's got.
No. I have a gigabyte.
I'm good,
2070S, and
game runs great.
Yeah, full max settings, 60 frames cap. It's running smoothly, and I played dozens of hours with the game running while streaming as well, and didn't have any issues.
I had no issues running New World when we were talking to Discord last week, right? This week I'm not, because you didn't start it. But last week I was concerned about the queue time, so I started, was running, no problem whatsoever. When we did that with whatever other one we were doing, it was like it would dog down the machine, right? I'm like, oh, it's got to be Discord, but it wasn't. It was whatever this game was, Atlas. That's what it was. It was jogging down everything. I don't know if it is anymore, but this New World is running phenomenal.
I mean, at some point, I launched early days before this menu patch launched in, patched in. I had New World and Elder Scrolls Online running at the same time because I was I had to tank a trial in Elder Scrolls Online, and I wanted my queue to start progressing. So I was queued up in New World while Elder Scrolls Online was running. And my PC isn't like, at least, well, it used to be high end, now it's not. I have like 2070X, 2700X for CPU and 2070 Super for GPU. So yeah, it worked out, and I didn't break my GPU. So it really seems like 40 Win trees, EVGAs, power fluctuates out of control. And when that power fluctuation hits, the cap, the throttle just doesn't catch it up in time, because these things happen in God knows what level of second, like nanoseconds or whatever. So before the safeguards are able to kick in, it just bricks itself. I've seen the video of who was that? Son of a Tech, I believe, and he's streaming. He puts the settings at very high, checks it out, lowers them back to high, and his GPU dies. Right then and there. On stream, he also has an EVGA 3090 40 tree. He drops the settings to high from very high, stream dies, and his GPU is dead. So it's whatever like rendering calculation it did while reshow, because it's like when you change the settings, there's this brief second of everything looking like a potato, and then everything loads in. So he sees everything like a potato, and then everything loads in. 1 second later, goodbye GPU, it's dead. It's so
it's the Oblivion version of code. Okay.
I mean, all I gotta say is EVGA, they won me over. I mean, I've been a fan of them.
Immediately rolling out. I mean, having stock at ready was really, because in this shortage, the fact that they already had what is it, RMA stock ready, that was nice. Like the fact that they didn't just, hey, there's a stock shortage, let's just melt all the stock we have into the market, and if someone needs a replacement, good luck.
Yeah, you
so-
can wait 3 months or 6 months.
No kidding. Chips are still an issue everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you have your EVGA 3090 FW3 borked while playing New World or anything else, do contact EVGA if you haven't already. And if you have another brand card and it died as well while playing New World, do let us know, and do let us know how it happened, because I would really like to confirm whether if other card actually did suffer consequences because of New World or not. I'm curious.
And if you have one that's not borked, send it and I'll test it.
Yeah. We'll
if
keep
it's not
testing
it for a good long time. I'll make sure it works.
Send it to us. We'll take care of it. Just
it's
run.
Gotta be 3090 though.
It gotta be. I mean, come on. We're trying to do the right test. We gotta be
for science.
About it.
The higher the better.
For science.
But I'll still take 3070s, 3060s, 28.
Right. You know,
it's okay.
We'll keep that as a secondary test. It's
for
okay.
science.
It's a test. We're fine. Yeah. It's for science.
Or if EVGA, you want to sponsor us, we're more than happy.
Hey, we'll be good. Yeah. Well, we're valid testing. We do that,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we also have another letter from Game Director. This one is about how the beta went and what they are up to and things like that. So that the previous one was from the studio director. This is from the game director. So there are two different people. He's called Scott. This was posted just like 10 hours ago. So if we had recorded yesterday, we wouldn't have this. So that was good timing. Hi, adventurers. It's been an amazing week since we started closed beta, and we have loved watching everyone play New World. I hope you had fun exploring and discovering some of the mysteries of Aeternum. Thank you for your patience with initial instability in beta. As an update to our last communication, we created several test builds over the weekend and discovered the problem with the help of few servers. So as of Monday morning Pacific time, we have the entire service running with that updated, much more stable code. We know there are more rare crashes that can still occur, and we are working on those as well. We also want to thank you for all of the bugs and exploits submitted. Our highest priority has been server stability and world availability due to the demand we have experienced thus far. As we are starting to get more comfortable in regards to stability and availability, we are now able to pivot and focus on addressing bugs and exploits that have surfaced in closed beta. We have a large number of game fixes coming in, several of which address exploits that are being used currently. We knew there would be some of these, and it's our goal to address them during the beta. We are working to fix the ones that have surfaced. After launch, our process approaching exploits will be different. They will be the highest priority items to fix, and we will be taking action against accounts that are caught using identified exploits. This will include rollback or removal of any gain from those who exploited or benefited from utilizing them. We understand how vital it is to have a level playing field for all players within New World. We are excited to continue improving New World with you, Scott. That's pretty neat. I mean,
yeah,
exploits, never fun.
So town boards are getting nerfed.
Yeah, I would think so. Well, during the preview event, I remember doing the faction missions were giving so much experience that people were launching up, and they don't. And they were launching up to level 60. And I learned it like after they patched, 3 days after they patched it. And I was like, oh, man.
So there's a YouTube video out there of a dude hitting 60 in, was it 3 days?
Yeah,
wow.
There you go.
Town boards. That's all he did.
I never catch these in time.
No, nor do I.
It's always after it gets fixed. I see like something saying you could have done like gained 1 million XP in an hour.
Yeah.
And generally it's not even, well, they are saying now they will take action because the game will be on live servers, but sometimes it's not even something like against their TOS or anything like that. It's just that something players found, and it's not even an exploit. It's just something like a design fault. Yeah, like a design fault they had, and everyone benefits from it. And I hear about it 2 days later. I'm like, oh, man.
Look, I wouldn't say that people getting 60 in 5 days by using town boards was an exploit, right? It was a oversight from them on the balancing of the XP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I would
let's
call
be
it
honest.
That was a flaw in the design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. And that's why we have this beta, right? They're finding
Exactly.
these things out. How did
Believe
these
me,
800,000 people hit 60 in a week?
Yep.
Oh, wow. They did all town boards.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I wonder if we should adjust that.
Yeah, right. Well, you know.
Well, I mean,
there's
I'm
been times where I've turned in
for...
like 8 town board quests for like 25, 30,000 experience.
There you go.
Yeah. I've turned in half that, but I get it. Yeah, no, I have.
I mean, you look at, especially the crafting
you said, I go
ones.
out and I grab 2 or 3 as I'm going from one to another, and I just happen to get it done. Like, I know where there's a lot of elk, right? There's a lot of elk north of Morrowind Falls in a particular place. I can get like the sheep one where you get to eat the sheep. I pulled down 20 sheep in like 10 minutes, right?
Dang, nice.
The elk, 20 elk in like 5 minutes, maybe.
Have you guys seen a goat?
No, and I don't know where the goats are.
I've seen a goat.
Where are the goats?
So at least it
in
exists.
The game, Sim. In the game.
Oh, God. Yeah.
In the game. Yeah.
I'll have to screenshot where I was next time I see him.
I mean, I don't care where they are. I just wanted to know if they actually existed because
where I was,
never seen one.
I think there's
rams. Those aren't goats.
No, right? No, no. The rams will come after you. The goats won't.
Yeah,
I think I had a Call 12 goat mission, town board mission since day one. I still haven't seen any, and I refuse to look it up. Like
stupid garlic rations and the goats are driving me nuts.
Yeah,
I love and miss the in-game chat of MMOs, and just how sometimes toxic it can be. Somebody was asking, like, where do I find cull boars? And they're like, they're not cull boars, they're just boars. You go kill them. Oh man, I have seen goats. That's
let them know where.
I know where to get the hemp, right? The goat.
The hemp is next to the main quest guy. The hemp is easy. Yeah, that's Soul should have been looking.
Dude.
Yeah,
what we don't have is a looking for group.
No.
Yeah, right? Not yet. Not yet.
I think that's something. Again,
well, they do have a recruitment chat, which people are using for kind of that purpose. Do you not have? There is like chat filters, global area, whatever. There's the yellow one, which is the recruitment. So people have been using that.
The important question is, when can we get over to Armored Excavation and get that done? That's the important part.
You jumping on after this?
I'll get on right after this. Got to get that done. There you go.
There you go.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. What about companies, right? So I think we're up to like 60 in our company, 50 to 60 in our company. And do you think they'll add something like a company storage where you can share?
I think they will. I think they will. Yeah. Right now they have nothing for a company other than your company and a few other things.
They have a company bank.
Yeah, right.
There is gotta be a company storage.
Some stuff to
Arc, I would think,
make you want to do a company.
Because imagine you have a crafter, like dedicated crafters in your company. What are they going to do? Run to everyone to give their items? Like, hey, I crafted, everybody their weapons. Now line up, and it's like trade. That would be nightmare. So if you have I don't know, land chest or company chest or whatever, everyone can. Like you dump everything into it, potions, cook, food, harvesting notes, and everyone just grabs what they need.
I've got 700,000 green wood in there for you.
We're good to go.
But so that's the other thing with housing, right? So apparently you can I was trying to buy one today and I just couldn't get around to it. Hopefully people bought my stuff. But apparently you can put other people on your deed, if you will. And they can enter your house and like mess around with things. I want to test that out.
I'm gonna the next 3 days. So I have enough money to buy a house, and I've been learning some furnishing plans as well to decorate the house, like shelves, wardrobes, or whatever. So the next thing I'm doing is actually buying a house. That's the one thing I haven't experienced yet. And in the last 3 days of the beta, I'm like, next episode, I can talk about housing a bit.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to talk about some of the immersion breaking house items.
What is the Rainbow
seen
Lions?
Rainbow Lions.
I was just gonna
Rainbow
go there.
Cats. Like, well, wait a minute. What
I
the hell
hate
is this?
them.
Excuse my French.
Just give me the Mastiff.
Yeah,
Just give
I
me the
know.
Mastiff.
Give it just it's
Everything was
thought
so
and
nice.
it makes sense, and yeah, this could possibly be, and then you have a rainbow rabbit. It's like, what do you do?
Everything
no
was so
idea.
nice with the game's art style. It's like everything
Yeah.
is sort of low fantasy looking. It's gorgeous. There is nothing
It
circus.
is.
But
I
and
had
then,
to
sort of
do a
fits,
double take the
and then
first
you
time I
throw it
saw
up.
it. Somebody put it on the front porch, and I was running past it, and I stopped and turned around. I was like,
that?
"What in the world is that?"
right next to the Windsvar town center
Yeah.
Now,
town
not
board, there's like
saying that
two
maybe
rainbow
in the
lions
17th
chilling.
century you wouldn't do that, but I don't know, right? I've never seen that in the history book.
Also, trophies. Ark, I don't know if you know this, and you're gonna have to test this out because you might
Mhm.
get a house before me. You get player buffs.
What buff?
Yeah, so you get player buffs if you put trophies up in
player
your
buffs.
house.
Interesting.
What's a pyre
Yeah,
buff?
so you'll a player buff, right? So
player buff,
depending on what
okay.
trophy
I
you
thought you said
put
pyre
in.
buff. What's a pyre buff?
Yeah, I was
No,
like, is it
I'm
something like a
I'm not
bonfire?
sure where you're going with that one.
Yeah,
So,
you
like, if
can
you
get
put,
like
like,
fishing buffs.
If you put like a
or-
wolf's head
Mhm.
or a wolf's trophy on your wall, right, you'll get better. You'll yield more
Mhm.
rewards from killing wolves or stuff like that.
Oh,
But that's what I want to
wow.
learn is
Yeah.
what do you do? Like, how does it work?
Now I
So,
definitely got to buy a house.
You
if
need
can
to
do that.
craft them. So you can craft those trophies. They require specific drop items as well as some materials. So
Okay.
I guess, for example, for the wolf one, you need something a specific drop from a wolf that you harvested, I guess. Then you'll be able to craft that wolf trophy, and your houses have trophy limits. So the small one, like the 2500 one and the 5000 one, from what I saw, had 5 trophy slots. So you can craft those trophies like a housing item, furnishing item. And if you place them in your house, you get the set bonuses. Now, I don't know how many buffs out there, but I guess that some of them will be relating to crafting, some will be harvesting, some will be maybe combat, although I'm not sure about that yet. But yeah, that's the benefit of the housing. So you can fast travel to your house for no cost. Depending on how expensive your house is, the cooldown goes down. The cheap house is 4 hours. The more expensive one was 2 hours cooldown. And I guess the most expensive one might be 1 hour. So what you could do is...
10,000 one.
Yeah. So what you could potentially do is have like your in set in one town, buy a house in another town, and you have 2 free fast travel locations, basically. Within their cooldowns. Well, or I guess buy a house in every town and you can fly everywhere.
I think you can only own 3.
Oh, there you
Wow.
go. In that case, just buy the 3 corners of the map so you can maximize your travel range.
Also, did you know that you can pull inventory from other towns as long as you are bordering?
Oh
it.
yeah, if you pay the money
That
and if
is-
it's
that
within
is
your
new for this
territory.
Yeah, that is neat.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's helpful. It can get expensive depending on the item, but like
And the
for
quantity,
immediate stuff.
for sure.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I have this town thing, like town project, and I'm missing 5 ingots from my bank in Everfall. I just pay
Screw
the
it, I'll
price
pay
and
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it definitely it's a really nice thing. What
Or
I'm
there's me where like, hey, I'm storing 300 hemp
yeah.
or fiber
right.
in this one town. It's like, oh great, I get to pay 90 coin to bring it over, but whatever.
Mhm.
Better than running for 15 minutes. I mean,
It is, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like in the future we are gonna get an optional subscription plan, like ESO Plus or Fallout First or whatever, and it will include free transfer of items between your storage.
You think?
Yeah,
I think they will too.
I feel like that's like one of the main monetizable things in this game. Your storage. Making your storage access easier, and I feel like they will definitely try monetizing that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like crafting bags of ESO or something like that. It's just, or double your storage space, whatever. But there's definitely going to be Actually, Darkwater brings up a good point, but then people won't have as much reason to fight for zones. Good point.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
No, you would still need to have the zone. It's just that you won't pay gold for the transfer. That's what I mean. You will still have to have the bank in your territory control to transfer, but you won't pay gold to make the transfer. Yeah, it costs gold to transfer between your storages if you control each zone. So, but otherwise, otherwise that would sort of mess up the point of territory control. At least one aspect of territory control. So yeah, that's pretty much all of our news and discussions. Now, I kind of want to end with like tips or any tip or trick you have seen so far, experienced yourself or seen in the game before we end. Like, what would it be? Let's start with you, Sibian. Do you have anything?
I would have to say town boards, right? So pick up a couple town board quests. It's going to be the easiest thing. Also, your fast travel, don't be shy to use it. I mean, I was at first where I just didn't want to use it. It's like, I got to save it. Nah,
you max out.
I blow through it now.
Yeah, no kidding.
And if you're not using your Azoth for crafting, your Azoth caps out at 1,000, and then you are wasting every Azoth gain. So yeah, do fast travel around if you're not using it.
I think they should raise that up.
I think so too.
Agreed.
See, that's another monetizable thing.
Yeah.
Doubling
also,
your Azoth
when you
cap.
have better gathering tools, the higher level you are, you start to actually gather Azoth from, like, for me, cutting trees down, right? Since I'm 130.
That's cool.
As I cut trees down, I start gathering Azoth as well. Not a lot.
Corruption portals, main quest gives them a whole bunch as well, if I remember correctly. So you gain a lot of Azoth.
Yeah, you get like 10, 20, 40 Azoth from corruption portals.
So what about you, Storms? You got any tips?
You guys stole mine. The Azoth was the best one. The second one I like is the get your sickle quick, right? And get your harvesting up to 30. When you can grab just a light bloom as you're running by, it's a phenomenal thing.
And if you get your harvesting to 30,
Rivercrest are selling for a ton, and they're just sitting everywhere. But a lot of people don't have their crafting up to 30.
Yeah. Rivercrest stem will be required for main quest. Like, it will require you to get 3 Rivercrest stems. It's, as Storm said, you need 30 harvesting skill for it. And you will either end up buying it by paying it money. And I think early on, they're going to sell well. Like, so
and
if you get
what I did is I sold in the first couple days.
So if you get your harvesting to 30 fast and sell those stems, that's some good early money. As for me, crafting a green, at least, tool like your sickle, dagger, like skinning knife, axe, and crafting a green travel bag, is rather easy, and the materials required aren't all that expensive. So do check what materials and whatnot you need, and as soon as they do require, I believe, a tier 3 workshop and a tier 3 outfitting station for the travel bag, find a town that has those at tier 3 and go get yourself a green travel bag and green tools. Add 15 Azoth to them, or however much you can, and so they can get a bonus effect, and they can get some. So it will double your carry capacity, well, from the travel bag. It will increase your gathering speed, and it can give you some fun bonuses like increase your harvesting yield or reduce, or like your travel bag can get a bonus where the wood you are carrying weighs, 7% less and things like that. So go for that green tools and travel bags immediately. And if you go for the travel bag fast, you can sell it. People buy travel bags, especially the green ones. At least during the beta. Obviously, the economy might shift a lot when the game launches, but as fast as you can, look up the requirements and get your green stuff and it will make your life easier, especially the travel bag. It's a huge, having that 50 extra carry capacity, because the regular one is like 50. If you make it green, it's 100.4. There's like that point there for some reason. It changes a lot. So there you go. Those are our tips and tricks for this episode. We'll see if we have more next episode. We could, I guess, do this at the beginning as well instead of the end of the show.
I
That's
think
the
that's a good
teaser.
idea.
You got to hold them on to the end.
True. There we go. We talked about the numbers, letters, GPU bricking, and a lot of our experience with the stuff. And since we are hitting an hour and a half mark, I guess we can wrap it up. Unless you guys have something else to add to the things.
I'm good. Yeah, I mean I'm
good.
I'm not looking forward to next month and having to wait.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be rough. Every episode will just be us just sulking on the show, just be like, oh man.
Crying.
I want to start.
Yeah.
Based on the way their launch did, though, I will probably take off the 31st. For
I already
ESO,
put my
I
request
typically
in.
don't do that. Right? For ESO, I'm like, yeah, they don't have the server up in time.
Yeah.
But for
I feel like 31st is still risky. Even for
think so?
this. Yeah, even with all the testing we did during beta, I feel like 31st is risky. I would go for the first of, what is it? What comes after August in
Well,
English?
it's a holiday weekend over here.
Oh,
That's
there you
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
go. All right, well, Sivian, where can people find you? Where will you be? Like, if people want to play with you guys on US East, what should they do? Things like that.
So you can find us over on Gilded. And we actually did start a Hands of Fate New World Discord as well.
Okay.
And I can post that up. We just did it the other day. And I do stream from time to time. Sivian21, just like it is here.
There you go. So Hands of Fate you can find at handsofFate.gg/hand. Gilded.gg/Hands of Fate and twitch.tv/Sivian21. What about you, Storms?
Well, starting something new. So not only starting New World here, I'm also just starting to roll out a woodworking, not a website, but doing some TikTok, doing a couple small things on Twitch, just to get something different than video games. So I'll let everyone know what that is when I actually get it named and set up. But it's a pretty interesting way of doing different things, working on, wooden bowls, wooden cups, furniture, just totally different than video games. But this is great fun too.
I'm interested, man.
Nice.
I used to meddle with some like amateur pyrography stuff. Actually, we talked about this. I remember your tools and like machines and everything where you cut like shapes. And yeah, that was...
I'm
Your
using
machine shop.
When you set it all up?
The New World Compendium art that you sent, I'm going to burn one for next week.
Ooh, nice.
And hopefully have that on my wall next week behind me.
That would be cool.
Again, putting it probably in... Maple seems to work the best to show from a long ways away, so we'll see how that works.
Nice.
All right, yeah, there you go. I'm looking forward to it. I'll follow you on TikTok as well.
There you go.
Nice.
Those are fun because they're real short, right?
Yeah. It's fast consumption
Look up
of
BA
content.
Storms on TikTok. I think I have 4, but it's okay.
All right. So you can follow
Following you now.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can follow
By next
everything
month, I
we
may
do.
have one more.
Well, no, I mean, in a bit you will have one more, and then we'll see.
Because
I don't know how
every week
TikTok
I'm working
works
on
yet.
something new. I'm really enjoying bowls. They're pretty quick. I used to hate them, but I figured out some tricks in there. It's pretty easy.
There you go.
Once you learn the angle attack for your blade, you're phenomenal.
Do you use one of those like
interesting.
you stick the wood, it rotates like crazy, and it just...
I have 3
stab it?
lathes. I have a big one that my dad or my uncle found for $25 on the street.
Oh, nice.
It's a 12-inch lathe. I have 2 that are 10-inch lathes. I've just did an 8-inch maple bowl that turned out pretty good. Good sample bowl. I'm not selling anything yet, but I'm getting close because it's just a lot of fun.
There
Nice.
you go. I mean,
It's a good hobby.
custom stuff, especially for like if you do some gaming related stuff. I know people are really interested in those handmade gaming related objects, I guess, goodies, house goodies. So yeah. Well, if you have international shipping, even I might grab one.
Yeah, I mean, we have like 3D printers. I have a CNC router. I have this laser engraver and all this stuff put together. And, video games, you got quite a niche set of things.
You have a full friggin' factory in there.
I do, and funny enough, but I just built the wood shop to 24 by 20, and it needs to be bigger. So I'm looking at buying another house next year.
Wow.
Or buying a house next year that has a pole barn and taking up a whole 100 by 100 pole barn.
Oh wow!
I mean, with all the crafting stuff you have, you might as well craft a new house.
But you can get a lot of stuff, and the bigger stuff you take, it takes a lot of room.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I believe it. And a lot of electricity, too.
It does take a lot of electricity, but it's like we've also got a property up north that has maple trees and walnut trees and cherry trees. And
awesome.
I just go up there and take the ones that have fallen naturally. I cut them up, bring them back, let them dry for 6 months, and then I use them.
Oh, the fact that you can get your own wood, like from your own that's pretty neat.
That's pretty sweet. You're a lumberjack in real. I am virtual.
I got chainsaws, but that's okay.
You're gonna become self-sustained soon, just like building your own village and an empire. Just
I'm settlement. Telling you what, I'm tempted to finish the rest of this basement, but I'm like, well, if I could buy a house next year again, why would I finish the rest of this basement, right?
That makes sense too.
It's one heck of a man cave, though. I'm telling you, it's not built for the families. It's not built for your wife's spot. It's a man cave workshop.
Perfect.
I actually got a lot of stuff from Menards and such, but I built one 12 by 12 wall. I actually made the planks for the wall out of wavy maple.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah, well, maple has a particular type of maple has wavy, looks like lines in it, looks like it's wet, but it's just wavy in it. And they had some for sale at a wood store me, so I'm like, okay, I'll grab enough of that. And I spent about $700, and I just made my own planks for the wall.
Nice.
That's really cool.
See, if you start like making stuff from the game, that's gonna be one hell of a content. Yeah, just like in-game furnitures.
It would be, right?
Or
I'm gonna need you to make that rainbow lion.
Oh, there you go. Right. Somebody else will have to
be onto something.
I don't paint, but yes.
All right. So time to end the show for everyone watching us live. And if you're watching us in audio form, hope you follow us, subscribe on the platform that you are listening to us. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star review. As for everything else, you can follow them over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. You can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Discord. I actually put up my first guide on YouTube for New World, which just explains the tanking basics with my build. Some tips and tricks for our mine expedition and everything like that. So if you want, check those out as well. Do check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork if you want to help support the show and get some benefits like early access, cut content, bonus content, get trees planted in your name, or get some physical rewards. Thank you all so much for joining us on this episode of the New World Compendium podcast, and we will see you all next week. Have a great night, everybody.